Hi, I'm Amanda Grayley. I am the choir teacher and also the Link leadership teacher here on campus. And I want to share today about a student that I had whose name was Nico. It was my first year teaching, and I was pretty intimidated by high school students because they're all bigger than me. And this guy walked in maybe a few weeks into the school year. Super, super big guy, several piercings, tattoos, looked really tough, and I'm gonna be honest, I was a little bit intimidated by him. But he walked in, he came from North Hollywood High School, and I thought this kid's gonna be tough. And I was really grateful to see that my kids just embraced him. We were a really small class, and he, from the very beginning, was accepted by my students and in our classroom. So we went through the school year and everything was good, everything was great for Nico, and at the very end of the year he came to me and just asked me to sit down. He said, I want to talk to you. I want to say thank you for being so supportive and for building a place of encouragement in your classroom, because when I came to this school, I moved in with my grandparents and I was planning to commit suicide. I had everything set up. I had already written a letter. He was ready to go to end his life because he was bullied about the way he looked and things that people just judged from the beginning. And so I remember that every year I think about Nico, and what it's taught me is, as a teacher, I need to be careful about not judging students by the way they look, and I also need to stand for what's right in my classroom, to encourage my students to love each other, to support each other, so that students really feel like my classroom is a safe place, and so that they feel like it's a place they can grow and express themselves. So I want to encourage staff. You have the power to change lives by teaching them how to love their neighbor. And students, you have the power to really change how people see themselves and how others see students who might look different or seem different. And so our job as Scorpions is to stand for what's right, to love each other, and to really be proud to be Scorpion family. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Noah Santiago. I was bullied in my elementary and junior high. So it basically all started when I first started school. I didn't have a lot of good clothes. Everyone started making fun of me. I had a lot of hand-me-downs, like old clothes from like years past from my older brothers, and then some of them were ripped. Some of them were had a lot of wrinkles. Everyone made fun of me because of that. I just didn't care because I was going to school. I actually wanted to have an education. Sometimes people will bully me because I didn't know how to speak sometimes. I stutter a lot. Either sometimes that I didn't know some math problems. People make fun of me. Even though I really like to learn, but people are just bullies and that.
Hi, my name's Kyrie. I'm going to tell you about my bully story now. Throughout my entire life, I've been bullied about my weight, which caused me to start switching schools. I switched about 3 different schools because of me getting bullied. I got so tired of being bullied so much that I ended up getting into so many fights as a child, and I ended up getting suspended so many times. And bullying about my weight has been irritating a lot. It traumatized me a lot. Every summer, from time to time, I ended up getting panic attacks because stuff like that keeps running through my mind and it keeps making me just freaked out. And sometimes I just thought about killing myself because I can deal with the bullying.
My name's Allie, and this is John Doe's story. I've always known I was gay since about 3rd grade. The attraction for women was just not there. I waited for about 6 years before I was finally able to tell my mom that I was gay. She was accepting, but was confused over the situation, whereas my dad gave my mom a rant about how everybody needs to pray for me. Towards the end of 6th grade, kids will call me gay for hanging out with women, and they called me a fag for not wanting to play sports. This followed me for around 7 years from every person.
Alright, so my name's Andrew. A lot of people call me Andy. And I've been getting bullied since I was about kindergarten, and it didn't stop until about, I'd say, 9th grade, when I actually started meeting a lot of friends. They used to call me Stinky Andy and say I had Andy germs and stuff like that, and it was a really tough time for me because I really had no friends and nobody wanted to ever hang out with me, and it was a real tough time for me, but I ended up getting through it. Try not to take it so seriously because they're just words.
My name is Samantha Fish, and I'm here to talk about my story. My story started back in about 8th grade. It was my first year in public school because I was homeschooled before that. And I went there because my best friend went there at the time, and I thought it'd be really fun. It was fine, it was fun. I was having like a really good experience and everything, and then a few months went by and a few lies went out about me because somebody just wanted to cover their own tracks and they blamed it on me or something like that. And it went really bad because the school I went to was a really, really small campus, so almost everybody knew each other, and things went by really fast. And I ended up being on the outside of everybody. And it was just horrible because I had people calling me names. They would yell across campus, saying stuff. As soon as I walk on, I was hearing stuff. I just walk by, hear people on tables. There was a time I was sitting there, and the school I was at, they had iPads instead of Chromebooks. And there was somebody who poured water on me, just to pour water on me. I didn't even know who they were, just because they heard something about me. I got pushed downstairs a couple times. There's a lot of stuff that happened. And it was just horrible because, the names they would call me mean names. And it was just even when it went to, small little things, it was, even worse because it was just the small things that do count.
Okay, so my name's Essence. I'm going to tell you about my bully story. I've been bullied since I was in elementary school all the way to junior high school because about my weight and how it was different and how I had more hair than, I don't know, just over stupid things. I used to come home every day crying and bawling my eyes out because I would always, everything would be okay until I reached lunchtime, and it just kind of, I don't know, I would get pushed around and called different names that have a meaning of the word fat.
I'm Alexa. This is my bully story. Okay, so first off, I'm a really sensitive person, and at the time that this happened, I was sensitive in a different way, where I was really thin-skinned, where words got to me very easily. I guess the majority of the bullying happened in elementary school in 6th grade. A lot of stuff was going on at home. I was really, my emotions were they were a mess. And so I'd come to school and people would find any reason to make fun of me. I was always picked on for being different, for being weird, for talking differently, for getting good grades, for being overweight, for the fact that I hung out with mainly boys because I couldn't get along with girls because they liked to mock me the most. So if I would hang out with boys, and I'd be called lesbian, I'd be called all these words, they'd say it was a dyke, or the same people would sometimes even call me a slut, or say that I was getting with everybody. And at the time I had never had a boyfriend, so I was really confused about this. But I was constantly picked on every single day. Someone had decided that they had that they were in love with me, and because I didn't like them back, they told all their friends that I had rejected them so harshly, and his friends just happened to be the more popular people of in the grade, and they managed to turn the majority of everybody in that school, the 6th grade class, against me. So every time I'd walk by, they'd have something to say against me. They'd ask me or they would tell me that I was a horrible person, that I didn't deserve to live, that I was just, they always found something to say.
Greetings, family. How y'all doing? Mac, of course, Mr. McNair. I wanted to talk to you guys today a little bit about bullying. It's definitely one of those things that is very serious and very real. I can think of accounts of different times when I was younger. I was teased a lot with my wardrobe and having hand-me-down clothes. And that's one of those things that I will honestly say kind of affects me today. And I make sure that, one, I always have to match. And that's part of the reason that I go through that whole dilemma, that I've turned that negative into a positive. Over the years, since me being a teacher and a coach, I've had the opportunity to see kids come and go, sad stories and stories of victory, all centered around bullying and what's going on in that whole to-do. A lot of times, if I had to tell you something that I definitely want to stick with you, it's really and truly choose your words carefully. Think about those moments that you guys are teasing each other and quote-unquote playing with each other, because at very time that when something like that is very serious, the person that you're hurting doesn't have the benefit of being able to say time out. That really hurt my heart, that really hurt my feelings. And you never know how those things and those ripples are going to stick with them throughout their life. So think about your words, think about those things that you have the tendency to do. Most importantly, think about those things that you just sit by idly and watch happen. Because although you're not the one that's being the bully, you're helping continue and perpetuate it because you're just turning a blind eye. Or you're one of the ones that's in the background laughing at the person that's being teased. None of that is ever cool. We family here at HHS. Take it seriously and care for one another, but even take it one step further and show each other that you care. Much love to you. Blessings as always. I'm out.